All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Lunch and Learn, Harvest Family Finance Lunch and Learn, where I, Rumbi, a financial educator, talk to you lovely ladies about finances. My hope and desire, my heart is for women to rise up, to rebuild their finances, and to be able to stand, to build generational legacies for their children's children, and so that their children know and their grandchildren know there was that auntie, there was that Gogo Rumbi, there was that Mbuya Rumbi who did it for us, who changed the trajectory of our family. And this is why I am here. And this is why you are here. And I understand that, finances aren't easy. They aren't easy, but this is what I'm here for. I'm trying to make it better. I'm trying to allow my pain, my experiences, the things that I've learned throughout my journey to be one, to make it less hard for you. I want you to thrive. I want you to rise. I want you to build generational wealth, and this starts from investing in this time that we have together. So thank you so much for being here. Today's Lunch and Learn, January 2026 Lunch and Learn, is about stewardship. I thought I would start right from the basis, because I think, new year, new goals, everybody's talking about the new and what they want to do. But we need to dig a little bit deeper, because we don't want to find ourselves in January 2027 having the same feeling of new you, new goals. I'm going to do it. And I want you to really understand. And I always teach that with finances, it is a journey. It is not a sprint. It is a marathon. And it's really important that you find, you really believe that is so, because it's going to help you along the journey. It's going to help you not fall frustrated. It will help you not get frustrated by what you're seeing. It helps you not to get frustrated with the journey itself. But I need you to understand that each and every step you take is one step closer to your prosperity, one step closer to you to being financially free. So it's really important that you understand that this is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It took me and my husband, over a year and a half to pay £14,000 in debt. And then from there, when you just think, oh, this is it, we've accomplished this, you start to realize that no, we need to have investments, we need to be doing XYZ. So you see, the journey continues. It's not something that you can just do at once and it's all over. No, it is a marathon, a lifelong marathon. And along the way, it gets more and more exciting, more and more bearable, and a lot more fun, because as you start to build the building blocks of your foundation, you're going to start to make progress. A house is built by small bricks being put one brick at a time. And this is what the financial journey is about. You need to take your time. You need to do brick by brick, slowly but surely. And guess what? Your house is going to be on solid ground, and you are going to prosper more than you ever imagined. So today we're talking about stewardship. And I think this is really important to understand. And I want you to jot down three. I've got 3 points today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet for you, because I want you to take away something. I don't want you to go away feeling like there's a lot. I just want to I want you to remember 3 P's, right? We're going to talk about principles. We're going to talk about priorities, and we're going to talk about plans. So 3 P's: priorities, principle, priorities, and plan. 3 P's. Now, these are going to be your foundation, your solid rock, and they're going to help your mind to start to realize what you need to really think about in order to start to really get onto that journey of financial freedom, of creating wealth, of getting out of debt, of not living paycheck to paycheck. All of these things, these fundamentals are so important for it. So the first thing, how you treat your money is how your money is going to treat you. How you treat your money is how your money is going to treat you. What do I mean? If you are not looking after your money, guess what? You're not going to have enough money. Money is not going to be enough month from month. You're going to have money stresses. If you are not looking after your money according to the principles of looking at money, so budgeting, planning, all those things, your money is going to be scattering everywhere. You're not going to be having a solid plan. You need to have a plan. And stewardship is about looking after what you have. And God told us to steward our resources well. We need to to manage our resources are. We need to look after what God gives us well, because that is the first way. That is the first way to build your generational wealth, to build your generational fortitude. I know people think it's about having more income, about money. Everyone thinks it's about the actual money, but actually it's about the principles that say money belongs to God. Therefore, if it belongs to God, we need to look after it. We need to look after money so that it can look after us. In the same way, the way you treat money is the way it's going to treat you. So fundamentally, that is the key. That is your key that will unlock whether you're going to continue in just money stress and money issues, or you're going to prosper and to succeed. You need to know how to treat your money. You need to know how to treat your money. Matthew 25 verse 1 says, we want God to say at the end that you good and faithful servant, what you did with what I gave you, you did well. That is stewardship. You and I are promised wealth in abundance. However, we've got a part to play in that. We must steward well. We must look after our money well. We must go according to the principles of God, as he says in his word. That principle, that is the one that's going to make you succeed. Right? So let's look at financial stewardship, right? Let's look at how we look after money. The principles are really important. How you treat your money determines how your money behaviors are. If you value money, if you understand money, you will not be spending anyhow. You're not going to have loads of things when you don't need them. Think about the amount of things that are coming through your door into your house. Do you need these things? Are these wants? Are they needs? What are they for? Do I need 5 pairs of the same shoe, or do I need one? We need to learn how to really steward our resources. And when we do have the things, okay, you've prayed and you've prayed, God give me a house, God give me a car. You've prayed for all of those things. Once you have received them, are you looking after them? Are you having that car serviced? Are you cleaning that car? Are you cleaning that house? Are you cleaning those shoes? All those things are part of stewardship. Those things are going to make you a faithful servant. And it's really important you take a look at how you treat the things that you are blessed with, how you steward them. This is the fundamental reason why sometimes we lack. We keep putting things, more and more things through the door. We accumulate more and more things, but we're failing to look after the things when we have them. It makes us wasteful. It makes us ungrateful. So as a principle, it's really important to understand what stewardship looks like. What does it mean to steward your money well? What does it mean to steward the resources that you're given? What does it mean to steward the jobs that you have? It extends to that, because how you look after a job will determine whether they call you a good person at work, whether they call you a person, your reputation is of integrity, your reputation is of good wealth, of working hard and being able to do things. How are you stewarding that job? How you steward your job will translate to promotions, it translates to, doing well in your job, which is money in your pocket. So can you see there's like a whole thing about stewardship. It's not only about money, it's about the things that you get, the resources that you get, the job that you get, the things that you acquire. How are you looking after it? Really important to understand how are you looking after those things, because all of those things are going to help you. They're going to help you. They're going to help you. If you are grateful and you're looking after what you have, you might not need to buy more things. Guess what? That's money in your pocket. If you're good at looking after your job, you're doing your job with excellence, with diligence, that will get you a raise, that you get you promotions, that you get you more money in your pocket to be able to do well with it. Right? If you look after things, the things in your house, well, you don't have to replace them as much. Yet again, more money. So the first P is for principles. Then we move on to the second P, which is priorities. Now, this one is really important in this time. I just think in January, as we look at what we want to achieve in the year, I think sometimes we don't give enough time to look at what's happened in the last year. Now, this is really important to look at your priorities. What do you truly Prioritize. And I know sometimes in our mind, we think that we're prioritizing some things. We think we are saving. We think we really are doing this. But actually, when you look around you, the results are saying otherwise. If you want to lose weight, right? And your priority is to lose weight, year in, year out, I want to lose weight. But your eating is excessive. You do not move. Actually, what that shows us is that it's not a priority. You are not prioritizing losing weight. It's the same thing with your money. Understand what you are really prioritizing. Understand that what you're prioritizing in your actual day-to-day habits, in your actual month-to-month habits, are your habits showing your priorities in reality? Are your habits showing your priorities in reality? Matthew 6 verse 21 says, where your treasure is, there is your heart also. Where your treasure is, there is your heart also. Like in my weight example, whilst you are saying that you want to lose weight, you're not doing anything. So where is your heart? So I want you in this particular P to go away and do an exercise. First of all, write down what you are prioritizing in your finances. What do you want to achieve financially this year? What is it that you want to achieve in the next 18 months, 15 months? Right? Write that down. I also want you to take a look at what you wrote last year, right? Write what is it that I actually wanted to achieve? What did I say I'm going to achieve? Now, once you've written those things down, I want you to go to your bank statement. I want you to download your bank statement for 2025 or 12 months. Look through it and see whether the priorities that you wrote down, the goals that you wrote down, align with what's going on in your bank account. Is your bank account saying the same story that your mind and your heart and you've written down as your goals? Are your goals aligning to what you spent your money on? So that is the task, the homework of today. I really want you to go away, look at your 2025 bank statement, look at your 2025 goals, and see where were your actual priorities. Were your priorities truly where you say they were, or is your bank statement saying another story? And if your bank statement is saying another story, it's time to really take a deep dive and understand, why is my bank statement and my goals, why are they so different? Why is it so different? Why is it not correlating? Why are my priorities different? Because this is the thing. If we don't have that reflection time, that deep dive into that issue, you're going to find yourself 2027. We're still same at the same place. How come I still can't save? How come I still can't get out of debt? But the reality is that your bank statement is saying that those are not your priorities. It will be very clear to you what your actual priorities are. So this is what I really want you to do. I want you to go and take a look at your bank statements. Take a look at your bank statements. Have a highlighter, have a pen, and see what is the story my bank statement is telling. What are my bank statements saying are my priorities? Once you see that, and once you look at what your priorities are, just have a think. Have a meeting with yourself. What happened here? What did things change? And things change. I want you to be kind to yourself. Things along the year will change. Things happen, and you can't quite do the same priorities that you set out at first. That's okay. But then what did you do? What was your new priority? What happened? You need to understand what happened, because in understanding the root cause of what happened, that's how you're going to do better for the next year. So priorities. Where is your treasure? Where is your treasure? I know you're writing down something. And I'm no different. Trust me, everything that I talk about, whether it's on my channel, here, on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, I am talking to myself. I am talking to myself. I said my priority was to do something with the house. But yet, looking at my bank statement, it's not showing me that. It actually isn't. There's no even clue of it. So how am I saying it? How am I saying it? But actually, my deeds are saying something else. It makes me realize as much as I think something's a priority, it truly isn't. So understand your priorities. And there's nothing wrong with whatever priority that you choose. That's up to you. That's up to what you feel convicted to. There is no right, no wrong, but make sure it aligns with what you're doing, right? So important. So important. And in the priorities, be sure that you have categories for priorities. Are you giving? What are your needs? What are your wants? What does your future look like? What is your lifestyle? It's important to really have conversations with yourself about what are your priorities in each of these areas. What are your priorities with giving? What are your priorities with the needs? What are your priorities for your future? What are your priorities for your lifestyle, your wants? And it's important to also include the things that you want. Because actually, if you don't, you're setting yourself up to fail. Because life happens. Life is hard on a day to day. You need to be giving yourself some wants. You need to be realistic. In that way, you're going to achieve more. You're going to actually do what you need to do. So make sure that whatever it is that however you've apportioned every category, there is the sense of priority. I'm only going to treat myself once a quarter, right? Because I have this other need that's really important. I'm only going to treat myself once a year because there's this massive need that I really want to be met. Or there's this massive thing in the future I really want to achieve. But you must understand your priorities, and your life and your habits, and more certainly your bank statements should align with those. Once you've done this exercise, I urge you to also do it every quarter, because life happens. Like I keep saying it because that is the nature of life. It happens. And the more we start to understand that we can't make a goal and have it all year through without reviewing it and then expect to see it at the end, it doesn't work. It needs constant review. So I want you every quarter to take a look. Okay, I said this in January. It's now April. What is my bank account saying about what I said in January? Do I need to change it? Do I need to pivot? Do I need to adjust it? Oh, life is taking me this way. What do I need to do? Be kind to yourself. Every time you meet with yourself, be kind to yourself, because there are reasons that you've had to pivot, you've had to change, you've had to adjust. But you have to acknowledge them. And then you have to redraft your way to make sure that you achieve maximum, you know, capabilities and abilities in what you're doing. Right. Your daily choices, I've touched on them, but they matter. Your daily choices are going to be the things that help you achieve your priorities or not. And you really need to have, I'll keep saying talk to yourself, because this is it. You are the best person that's going to get you through this. Really decide, am I spending or am I saving? Is this an intentional purchase, sorry, or is this impulse? Do I need to buy this, or I'm just feeling a ways? I'm in my feels. This is why I'm purchasing. Let me just take a moment. 24 hours. Don't purchase anything. Do I actually want this? Do I actually need it? Be intentional with your purchasing. Is this a temporary pleasure or a long-term pleasure? Is it just the dopamine you need to hit to get that thing? You've had a hard week, you've pressed click, the thing comes to the letterbox. You actually probably enjoyed the clicking and letting it come to the letterbox. You get it. You don't feel any way anymore because it was all just a temporary fix you needed. Understand how you can fix those temporary feelings and emotions without purchasing, without over consuming, without going out of the things that you are trying to do. Really understand, what are your triggers? What are the things that make you spend unintentionally? What are the things that make you overeat? Habits, this is why habits and finances are so closely knit, because they say they follow similar principles. So understand, when I'm bored, Am I buying because I'm bored? Am I buying because I'm stressed? Am I buying because it's fun? What is it? What is making you make those unintentional purchases that you don't really need or really want? Right? You need to make sure your daily choices are reflecting your priorities. And you need to ask yourself, am I building my future or am I borrowing from my future? Am I building my future or am I borrowing from my future? Buying things when you don't have the money and buying them on credit means that you are borrowing from your future. And is that what you really want? Is that part of what your goals are? Is that part of stewarding well? Keep asking yourself before every purchase, am I building for the future or am I borrowing from my future? Right? Galatians 6 verse 7 says, a man reaps what he sows. A man reaps what he sows. So you're either reaping building the future or reaping borrowing from the future. Which one are you going to do? Financial freedom is a result of constant, wise decision. Financial freedom is the result of constant, wise decision. Everyday decisions matter. That's what's going to push you forward or push you backwards. So be mindful about the decisions that you're making. Prioritize, prioritize, prioritize. And the last P of stewardship is a plan. A plan gives you direction. Without a plan, money disappears. Without a plan, stress increases. Without a plan, goals stay dreams. So you see, the cost of not having a plan is not worth it. It really isn't. With a plan, money has an assignment. You tell it where to go. With a plan, you gain control of your money. With a plan, you move towards building your future, not borrowing from your future. It's really important to have a plan. And when I say a plan, I'm talking here mainly about a budget. Assign every cent that you get a job. Assign it, because if you don't assign it, it will disappear. That is what a plan is. It's assigning every bit of money that comes through your door a purpose. I work on a zero budget and I highly recommend it. This is how much I have. These are my bills. These are my wants. This is what needs to go out. Every single penny down to zero. At the end, my balance is zero because every single penny is accounted for. It's important that you have a budget. That is true stewardship. That is going to show you how well you're doing. That is going to show you where are there gaps, where are there opportunities, where are your weaknesses, where are your strengths. So yes, I just use SWOT analysis, but it's true. You can use the SWOT analysis for your money. And a budget is a massive tool to be able for you to identify quite clearly, quite easily, what's my strength, what's my weakness, yeah, where are the opportunities? Where are the opportunities? What can I take out that will enable me to do X? What are the opportunities? What can I invest in that will, allow me to enjoy the benefits of compound interest or tax-free interest? What are the threats here? Hang on. What are my threats in my money? Why do I keep spending on certain shops? What's happening here? What are my emotions when I want to spend? Those are threats. What are the triggers of spending? Those are all your threats. And you have to start to understand them so that you can be able to find strategies to eradicate them and avoid them. So yes, it's important to have a plan. Because, write a plan and make it plain. Habakkuk 2 verse 2. And commit your plans to the Lord. Proverbs 16 verse 3. It's really important for you to have a plan for your money, because without a plan, honestly, you're not going to know where your money goes. And that's one of the first things I did when I decided that enough is enough. God has called me for abundance. He has not called me for poverty. Poverty is spiritual warfare. Being broke is spiritual poverty because God promised us abundance and riches. So if you are going to do anything about it, you're going to have a plan. That's your tool already there. That's your strategy already there. That's your first step into financial freedom. Have a plan. Like I said, when we found ourselves in £14,000 in debt, when we found ourselves unable to pay anything, when we found ourselves struggling each month, when we found ourselves not understanding how we're working, but we don't have any give at the end of the month, we had to sit down and write a budget and understand what is truly going on. What are my priorities? What is my plan here? Am I going according to the principles? Am I stewarding this money well? And the answer was no, 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 no plan, no clue, spending, borrowing from the future, spending because of emotions, just no clue. And that was painful. That was hard because I know more than anyone, not having sleep because of money, not being able to do the things that you want to do, to help the people you want to help, not being able to give yourself or your family the things that you desire, needs and wants. Sometimes it's not just about the wants, it's literally the needs. The needs. Having creditors at your door, having, a multiple credit cards that are literally bursting at the seams and not being able to have peace of mind because of money. I understand that. And I don't want that for any of you. You have the ability to have everything God has promised you. He has promised you abundance. He's promised you riches. He's promised you exceedingly abundantly. That's our portion. That's our station. That's what we should live. And Harvest Family Finance is here to help you to start to understand, how do I get from broke to poverty, from poverty to riches, to abundance, to wealth, to choices. Financial freedom is being able to have enough resources, enough money to make choices on how you spend your time, how your family spends time, how to always work in alignment with God, to be in jobs and spaces and businesses that are in alignment with God, and not be forced to work in places and spaces because you don't have enough money. Financial freedom gives you choice. So I want you ladies to really work on those things. I want you to take your first step into financial freedom. It's really what was promised to us. It's what's owed to us. It is what we actually own, and we should start to embody it. So your 3 Ps: principles, priorities, and plan. Today, the things that we've spoken about, the exercises about 2025, revisiting your goals and your bank statement, I really urge you to do that. That is your first step. If you've taken nothing away from that, I want you to go away and take some time to do that. I know life gets busy, but also don't let the enemy rob you of what you've heard, the seeds that you need to move you forward. Go away and do it. You go away and do the work. Thank you so much for being here. On my website, I have more resources that can help you as you take this journey. And I'm excited that I have finally have a program that is available anytime, any place, but it's starting the 9th of February. It's an online program for ladies who want to transform their financial situation. Now, I want to tell you right now, because I'm very clear, it's not a quick rich scheme. Your finances aren't going to magically change. What it does, it helps you to start to make some differences. Those bricks, it starts to make you build the bricks. So whether you want to pay off debt, whether you want to start to build, whether you start to look at investments, how to save, how to manage your money, this course is for you. There are different types there. There's a weekly, it's a 6-week course. There are different types. There's one, there are videos every week, and there's emails. But what I want you to do is that if you're going to commit to paying for that course, is that you do the work. Because for me, ultimately, people just buying my courses without doing the work isn't impact. It isn't fruitful. And it's certainly a waste of money. And now, when I've just been talking about it, me being the person who is a financial educator, I want you to be wise and use your money wisely. If you buy that course, make sure you use those 6 weeks to really commit yourself to doing the work it requires. Each week, you've got different tasks, different decorations, different prayer points, different Bible verses to take a look at to help you with the subject matter. And from week to week, you move on to the next thing. And I'm hoping that that will set up a foundation in your life to start to build your finances well. Not only that, I also have a guide that is available. I have a guide that is available on God's Word. That's for free. If you sign up a website, sign up for it. It's just a book that talks about the biblical principles of God concerning finances. So if you don't have that already, to be sure to go to my website to register for it, and you get that. And I also have a Sunday Seeds newsletter. And this newsletter is just every Sunday. I just speak on what's on my heart concerning stewardship, concerning God and His love for you, concerning leadership, concerning your heart, and concerning your identity for you to understand who you are. So those are the things that I offer on my website. I do hope you found this session really useful, and I want you to win. I want you to live in God's promises for your finances. You were made to prosper and to succeed, exceedingly abundantly so. So go out and do the work, because God will meet you at your level of audacity. And you, my sister, are totally worth it. So let me stop the recording, and then we'll get into some questions.